What's up, everyone? It's Tuesday, July 6, 2021, 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius, and it's 11:30 in the morning. In this walk, I'm going to go on 5th Avenue all the way to Central Park, starting from the New York Public Library between 40th Street and 41st Street. This grand building sits in Bryant Park, which is a famous park where people come and gather and hang out. The New York Public Library itself is a Beaux-Arts architecture building completed in 1911 by the architectural firm Career and Hastings. And many people come here to enjoy the nice architecture and to pose with the lions in front. These lions were dedicated by the mayor of the time, Fiorello LaGuardia, and he named the lions Patience and Fortitude, due to the patience and fortitude of New Yorkers. Fifth Avenue is known as the heart of New York City when it comes to retail shopping. Most of the high-end retailers are along Fifth Avenue all the way to the park here, Central Park. By the way, from this angle, many of you will wonder about the Empire State Building. You can't really see it because it's on Fifth Avenue, except the top of the spire. That used to be the tallest building in the world for over 40 years. It was made famous by the movie King Kong. Before that, people didn't want to go into the building. It was called the Empty State Building for many years. Here's 42nd Street, which is probably the second most well-known street after Broadway. I think Broadway is what people associate New York with, then 42nd Street, and then maybe Fifth Avenue. Or maybe Fifth Avenue and 42nd Street is a tie. Over there is the Chrysler Building, designed by Willem Van Allen, and also One Vanderbilt Tower, which is built next to Grand Central Terminal, the transportation hub for the Metro-North Railroad. One block over to the west, you'll hit Times Square, which is at the intersection of 7th Avenue, Broadway, and 42nd Street.
Oh, you got a flat tire.
Right now, New York has a lot more people than what I thought it was going to be about a year ago. A year ago, these streets were super quiet, and I was very skeptical if tourism will return. But there's plenty of people walking on the streets now, and it seems like Midtown Manhattan is back in service. Or I should say back in action. Speaking of Grand Central Terminal, I'm going to pan the camera over to the right now as I cross the street, and you'll see Grand Central Terminal right there, or the side of it rather. That terminal itself was designed by the architectural firm McKim, Meade & White, legendary architectural firm in New York City. Here's a great view of all the cars coming down. Tons of yellow cabs making a left over here on 44th. A pro tip if you come to New York City, I find that Uber and Lyft prices are elevated right now, and I find that New York City taxi cabs will save you at least like 15 to 20% off the rides. I don't know what it is that made Uber and Lyft so expensive, but if you can get a cab, then you'll save a bunch of money. Better yet, you can always walk or take public transportation. The subway is by far the most popular option to get around New York City, and it runs quite frequently. There is no subway which goes up and down Fifth Avenue though, but there are subways which run across it. The most prominent ones being the 7 train at the Fifth Avenue stop, the E and M trains at the 53rd Street stop. Oh, the 7 train is 42nd Street, E and M is 53rd, and the N, W, and R trains are 59th Street, which serve Fifth Avenue. But despite there being no subways that go up and down Fifth Avenue, there are buses which go down it. Oh, I forgot also, at 23rd Street, there's also the it's the R and W trains, which serve Fifth Avenue as well. That's down in the Flatiron district. There's Safra National Bank, pretty much next to Bank of America. And over there is the consulate for the Philippines. Giant flag outside of their building. Also displaying the flags are the Barnes & Noble store. That was pretty loud. So over here, if you go over to the west, you'll hit Little Brazil. There's tons of Brazilian restaurants and businesses along the street. Hi. Oh, thank you. To my right, you have the Adidas store. We're starting to enter the retail section of Fifth Avenue now. Actually, if you were to pronounce Adidas the right way, it's Adidas, because that was the person's name who founded the company. His name's Adi Dassler, so. Guest store. It's also good to come on Fifth Avenue just to window shop too. You can always come by to see the latest styles. Oh, I guess denim jackets are coming back. I don't think I want to wear denim jackets in the summertime though. But something like this I could see people wearing right now. Over to the left here we have the Diamond District. If you want to come here to buy gold, jewelry, rings, you've got it over here. Sephora's across the street. You've got Sunglass Hut and Lululemon on the other side. New York City gift shop where you can buy I Love New York t-shirts and Statue of Liberty related merchandise. I find that the price of souvenirs and tourist related items in New York City is a lot less compared to other cities I've traveled to. You can get I Love New York t-shirts for like $4 each, I've found. And postcards for as low as like 50 cents a postcard. I think even I saw keychains for $1. And I go to places like New Orleans and Taiwan, and there's definitely a lot more than $1 a piece. Well, someone just dropped the bottle cap to their water bottle. Here's Calzedonia, Italian legwear. Sunglass Hut is no longer here anymore. It was on the other block we saw. But we do have Puma here, which is actually the brother to the Adidas store. They're competing companies now. Now we have over here Saks Fifth Avenue, which is famous for their holiday lights displays. And across the street from it, we've got Rockefeller Center, the Art Deco area with tons of skyscrapers, also famous for the Top of the Rock building there. This was known by many names throughout the years. The RCA building, Radio Corporation of America. The Comcast building is as it's known today, and formerly also the General Electric building. Let's go over to across the street here.
Yeah, exactly.
Here you can see some of the fine example of Art Deco architecture here and artwork. On that side is the St. Patrick's Cathedral. This over here is a temporary art installation called The Oracle by Sanford Biggers. It's supposed to depict African and European figures of mythology. You can see they got the torch in the left hand and also lions at the feet. This is supposed to be here only until the end of June, but for some reason it's still here. They're probably taking time to change the exhibit, or I don't know what's up with that. got the fountains of Rockefeller Center here. Inside Rockefeller Center too, there's also a concourse level where you can go and browse all the shops inside. If you go over to that corner, you'll see the FAO Schwartz toy store. Here you can see more information about the artist, the Sanford Biggers arts, and the Oracle, how it was molded and made. This area of Rockefeller Center has been under construction for quite some time. I don't know when this is going to be finished, but over there you've got a statue of Prometheus, who in mythology brought fire to the humans. But we'll go back out now, back on the 5th Avenue. There's also a sandbox here for people to play in. That's kind of unusual to have in the middle of New York like that. Especially in Midtown Manhattan, you would never expect to see sand. There's St. Patrick's Cathedral again, neo-Gothic architecture, and also the head of the Roman Catholic Church in New York. Got some tourists there taking pictures. I'm seeing a lot more of that now. Looks like the door to St. Patrick's Cathedral is open, so I'm going to attempt to go inside. Usually it's this door that's open to get into the cathedral. The last time I came here, there was a bag check before you can go in. Oh. Oh, bag check? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Just want to make sure there's no dangerous things in there. I'm going to remain quiet because I don't want to interrupt the mass over here. Alright, I think I'm going to continue my walk of Fifth Avenue now. Don't make the mistake of walking through this glass door. I've seen people attempt to do so, even with this marking here. All right, so we're back on Fifth Avenue now. Across the street, there's a statue of Atlas holding up the globe. And now past Rockefeller Center is where there's a greater amount of retail stores. And that sound is so characteristic of New York, you really can't get around it. Here it's like if the light is green and you don't go in 2 seconds, the drivers behind you get so mad and honk their horns. But plenty of retail stores around here. Armani Exchange, Victoria's Secret, Dyson, also the Nike store on the corner there. I like the architecture on the Nike store. We're getting into the really high brands now. Someone's taking a picture of Versace, a selfie. Here's Cartier. It's also a landmark building, the Cartier building. There's a lot of retailers on this block. Zara, Hollister, Uniqlo, Salvatore Ferragamo, Lindt, and St. John. Also Tissot, the Swiss watch company. Oh, Rolex is here too. In fact, this whole building is called the Rolex building. So you've got Rolex across the street from Tissot. Also over here, you've got 53rd Street, the subway station I told you before. The E and M trains come by here. Also, if you go down this block here towards 6th Avenue, you'll hit the MoMA Museum, which stands for Museum of Modern Art. It's a very good museum and I recommend that you check it out. A lot of people don't understand modern art, but sometimes it's meant to be that way. Art's meant to be subjective and have different viewpoints. Here's another church that's not as well known as St. Patrick's Cathedral, but it's St. Thomas's Church. It's an Episcopal church. Also great architecture over there. Microsoft store. I can't believe that they said that Windows 10 was the final version of Windows, but now Windows 11 is here. Here's Coach. I like the conveyor belt setup they've got on the ceiling here, showcasing all the Coach bags. Also a local food cart vendor. These are really good if you want something quick. They're good for drinks and halal food, chicken over rice, hot dogs, things of that nature. Over here across the street, we've got the Peninsula Hotel. It's a really gorgeous lobby inside. Another watch company. Also over there, you can see the super tall skyscrapers of Billionaires Row on 57th Street. Central Park Tower and 157. Also the Steinway Tower as well. Here's the Fifth Avenue Presbyterian Church. Here's Omega. Plenty of luxury watch companies along Fifth Avenue. Watches have kind of fallen off style because now people, they just use their phones to tell time, but now watches are really used more as a fashion statement. Here's Dolce & Gabbana. Really interesting fashion they've got going on with the cheetah shorts over there and the floral jackets. Here's 56th Street. These are the Gucci bags. A rather simple display because they're only showcasing 2 bags, but it does get people to look, including me. Here we have a clock in front of Trump Tower. This clock is really exquisite. There's Trump Tower. Open to the public from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Guess they don't let people inside right now. Tiffany & Co. The main entrance to Tiffany is actually around the corner. They're doing some construction on it, so. All right, so there you've got the different skyscrapers of 57th Street, Billionaires Row between 5th Avenue and 8th Avenue, Central Park Tower, 157, and the Steinway Tower, which I think is 111 57th Street. Many people say that these towers, they really destroy the New York City skyline just due to how thin they are. But they're mostly residential in nature. And some of them are even specially designed so that they can withstand being so tall on such a narrow area. Like they have gaps in the building, empty floors, which allow wind to go through. It's pretty remarkable engineering. Here's Louis Vuitton, the famous luxury fashion store. Looks like they're even trying to go into streetwear right here. Basketball, trophy. Over here you've got Van Cleef and Arpels, and also Bergdorf Goodman, which has retail stores on both sides of the street. Bergdorf Goodman. We're about 2 blocks away from Central Park now. We've got the Plaza Hotel over there. Here's the main Apple store in New York City. It's also known as the Cube. It was renovated in recent years and now it's really amazing inside there. Tons of retail floor space and very modern. Also, look who's coming to 5th Avenue, Dior, on the corner there. Got some more tourists posing for pictures. Here's 59th Street. Once you go 2 blocks west, it's known as Central Park South as well. Let's make our way there now. it okay to cross? Looks like it. Even though there's a don't walk sign, but that's how New Yorkers do it. You can cross against the light as well as you don't get yourself hit or get someone else hit. Seems like Mr. Softy is popular today, and with good reason. Here's Grand Army Plaza, which is famous for the William T. Sherman Monument in the middle here. Nathan's hot dog food cart here. I don't even know how much the prices are. $4 for a Nathan's hot dog. 2 hot dogs is $8. Looks pretty good. And it smells great too. Alright, so we're going to be entering the main area of Central Park here. We're right across the street from the Plaza Hotel. There's also a very good food court you can go in right over there. Has a lot of different restaurants inside. Here we've got a juice and smoothie vendor, as well as a Italian ice and milkshake slushies vendor. So over here, you've got a bike rental company where you can ride bikes throughout Central Park. The last time I checked, it was $15 for an hour to rent a bicycle for an adult. This is the busiest entrance to Central Park, right where 5th Avenue meets 59th Street. Central Park was designed by the landscape architect firm of Frederick Law Olmsted. It is all completely man-made. And it's definitely a highlight when you come to New York City. I mean, you would never think you come to a big city to come to a park, right? But this park is unique because you've got great views like this over here, right by the water, and you see these skyscrapers in the middle of nowhere coming up. It's really something else. So I'm going to walk onto the first photogenic spot in Central Park on the Gapstow Bridge and then end the video. There is a lot more to see in Central Park. In fact, this park is huge. It goes from 59th Street all the way up to 110th Street and between 5th Avenue and 8th Avenue. There's also a lot more stuff to see in this park. Some of the highlights include the Central Park Mall, the Bethesda Terrace and Bethesda Fountain, also the lake. Look at that, there's even Canada geese over there along with the turtles. I've read that the turtles are not native to Central Park. They're actually pet animals, and people who don't need the turtles anymore, they released them into Central Park and they grew to be here. Also descendants of those pets as well. It's always so relaxing to take a walk through Central Park. So if you need maps or postcards, come to this guy. So if any of you are into photography, this is where you want to be, on the Gapstow Bridge. And I'm sure these people knew about it. All right, everybody, this concludes my walk of Fifth Avenue from the New York Public Library all the way to Central Park. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe for some more videos like these. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.